Here today as we announce the results of Operation Kessel Run. I appreciate media organizations joining us, all labor agencies as well. I'm FDLE Special Agent in Charge Chris Williams of the Pensacola region. Also with me here today, State Attorney Ginger Medved from the First Judicial Circuit, Chief Eric Randall, Pensacola Police Department, Special Agent John Canning, the FBI, Resident Agent in Charge Chad Berry with HSI, and Supervisory Special Agent Miles Roy of NCIS. There's a bunch of also investigators and analysts who are participating in the operation. They're here today as well. So in the movie Star Wars, Kessel Run is a dangerous route used by smugglers to avoid detection. It's a fitting name for this investigation because dangerous men intent on hurting our children were using the internet to avoid detection. But they failed. 12 suspects from all walks of life were arrested after using the internet as both a route to access other children and to cover their actions. Some traveled from as far away as Birmingham, Alabama, Slidell, Louisiana. Some of them brought handguns. In all, 42 felony charges were filed, and there are likely more to come. Undercover investigators from the FDLE, the FBI, NCIS, HSI, and the Air Force Office of Special Operations posed as young teenagers online on social media platforms of various sorts. And while I won't go into details on which ones they were or were not, they're all social media platforms everyone's familiar. While most adults immediately stopped communicating with investigators when they believed children were involved, these 12 individuals did not. They continued to communicate and sought to pray over gifts. Suspects asked for lewd photos, offered car rides, and communicated in a way that I'm not going to describe here today. I do want to call attention to the suspects. They're all very different. They come from different walks of life. Some are young, some not so much. Some with established careers, some were unemployed. But the one commonality they all had is they were preying on our most precious asset, and that's our children. Luckily, our FDLE agents and analysts, along with our partner agencies, found them before they found our children. And while this operation is finished, our work is not. The work of these investigators continues because there are more of them out there, and they're just waiting on the opportunity to hurt a child. The internet is a dangerous place. It connects bad guys with our kids. And for parents, that can be scary and overwhelming. But you're not alone. There are many resources that are out there that can help. SecureFlorida.org offers best practices for both children and parents. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children has a lot of information. You can visit them at missingkids.org. You can also go onto Florida's Sex Offender Registry website. It's on the FDLE webpage. And finally, parents, talk to your kids. Teach them how to be safe online. Whether they're playing a video game or using social media, be engaged. Check up on them, monitor their activity. Ask them questions. I want everybody to take comfort. We're talking about some scary stuff. Take comfort in knowing that law enforcement here in the Panhandle works diligently. FDLE works side by side with our partner agencies to do everything we can to protect kids. I want to thank our investigators and our analysts for their dedication to these difficult cases. This is long hours. It is difficult work. There are many of them here today. Two of them are FDLE Special Agent Supervisor Mark Brown, who's going to step up here in just a minute and talk about the arrest, and Special Agent Jeremy Horn. These two men led the investigation, at least we commend them. So I'd like to introduce Mark Brown. He's going to come out and provide more information about the suspects and their arrests. So Mark.
Good morning, everyone. I would also like to take a moment to recognize and commend the men and women of FDLE and all of the law enforcement partnering agencies that participated in Operation Kessel Run. As Zach Williams also said, I would like to take some time to thank Special Agent Jeremy Horn, who was instrumental in the organizing, the planning, and the execution of this operation. Everyone who participated in this operation is a true guardian, and they worked tirelessly to protect one of the most innocent and vulnerable groups of people in our community, and that happens to be our children. I would like it to be clear that the 12 men who were arrested during Operation Kessel Run attempted to exploit the innocence of our children by deciding to engage and unspeakable behaviors. These individuals communicated with someone who they believed was a 13 or 14-year-old child. They also took steps to travel to meet these children to engage in sexual activity. However, luckily, with every member of Operation Kessel Run, this was not the case, and that no child was hurt during this operation. This was definitely accomplished through teamwork and dedication and apprehending these criminals before they carried out their oral exams. If you would turn your attention to the TVs behind me, we'll discuss each of these individuals and talk about their charges and the wrong decision that they made to try to prey on children in our community. The first individual is Daryl Hart. He is a 57-year-old male from Pensacola. Mr. Hart is facing charges of soliciting a minor, traveling to meet a minor for sexual activity, and using a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony. Clayton Costello is from Hoover, Alabama. He was in town visiting on vacation. He is also charged with soliciting a minor, traveling to meet a minor, and using a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony. Randy Powell is a 52-year-old male from Pensacola, also charged with the similar charges as person. Telman Williams is a 28-year-old male who traveled from Mobile, Alabama. He is also charged with solicitation of a minor, traveling to meet a minor, and using a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony. Chris Gilmore, 31-year-old male from Foley, Alabama. Similar charges as the first. Alex Durlock, 24-year-old male from Fort Walton Beach. Traveled over to Pensacola to also meet a minor for sexual activity. Jordan Belton, 28-year-old male from Pensacola. Similar charges. Raphael Brooks, 39-year-old male from Robertsdale, Alabama, also similar charges. William Nordstrom, 64-year-old male from Pensacola. Not only did he solicit a minor, travel to meet a minor, he also transmitted harmful material to a minor, which are inappropriate pictures and videos that I will not discuss the content. Eric Long, 33-year-old male from Montgomery, Alabama. I believe Mr. Long was in our area working locally. Also solicited travel using a two-way communication device to facilitate a felony and fleeing and attempting to elude law enforcement. Patrick Dillon, 33-year-old male from Slidell, Louisiana. Same types of charges. Mr. Deno also transmitted harmful material to a minor. He was in our area locally working from out of town and was actually leaving on the day to head home on the day that he was arrested. Jermaine Johnson, 32-year-old male from Pensacola. Similar charges, also includes transmission of harmful material to a minor. That concludes the charges. Okay. Now I'd like to introduce State of Trial.
Good morning. I just have a few comments. I want to first thank all of the men and women who participated in Operation Kessel Run to capture these 12 individuals whose sole goal was to further victimize children. They were caught this time. We don't know how many times they might have been successful before, or had they not been captured this time, been successful afterwards. Very proud to have participated in this operation with these gentlemen. I want to give special recognition to Carrie Gilmer. who is a senior prosecutor in my office who specializes in prosecuting child sex, neglect, and abuse cases. Carrie worked very diligently with this team on this operation and does a tremendous job. And I want to assure you that while this operation is complete, the prosecution has just begun, and we will diligently prosecute this case. They are all charged with various second and third degree felony charges, punishable anywhere from 5 to 15 years each. And I believe that each of them were charged with 3 or 4 counts, felony counts. I am particularly happy that these types of cases, which are really the preferred cases in that they capture these predators without the further traumatization of these children. There were not real children involved in these cases, and that makes the prosecution much easier. As a prosecutor, I can tell you that the impact on children of child predators is horrific. And I'm very pleased that these cases took these 12 individuals off the road. One of the key to preventing these things is education of parents. These 12 men would have never been permitted by any parent or any guardian into a child's room, and yet children unwittingly let them enter their rooms every night, spending hours with them online. I promise you, these 12 individuals didn't present themselves the way that they appeared today. They presented themselves to be whatever and whoever that child at that particular time in their life needed to lure them into their dangerous, sick, and twisted web. Just a few things I would say. If you are a parent, and this is so important, there's a few things that you need to do to protect your children because you are their greatest protection from these child predators. 1, if you believe that your child may have been contacted by an online predator or may be conversing and escalating a sexual conversation with these individuals, you must first approach the child and address it with them, but do not panic. Your panic will drive them into seclusion and they will close up on you. Second, secure evidence. Document whatever you can. Screenshot, usernames, timestamps, any information you can. Do not attempt to contact the predator yourself or to capture the predator yourself, but document all the evidence that you can and turn it over to law enforcement. And at that point, make sure that you follow their guidance in moving forward and give your children information to go forward and the education to deal with these types of things in the future. In the meantime, we will continue to fight what we hate in order to protect what we love. Thank you.
Thank you. In conclusion, I just want to touch on one more thing, and that's interagency cooperation. Get some of the 12 folks that made a trip to the Camden County yet. These operations are long hours. These are complex investigations involving both law enforcement and prosecutors. So I just want to pay close attention to the teamwork that is involved at case like this. We do an operation like this, it's nice to have one arrest. It's both incredible and disgusting that we have 12. So I'm glad we've got these 12 folks off the street proactively. This is what proactive law enforcement looks like in the area of preventing violence against our kids. With that, I'll take a few questions with the understanding that these cases are still under investigation and there's additional charges that are still pending. So some things I can't talk about, but I'll answer questions if you have.
Of the investigators who were online, was there a certain age that they represented to be, typically 12, 14? Was there a certain age that they presented to these predators that they actually were?
Roughly 13 to 14.
Okay. Second question, this is going to sound so dumb, but I think it might help a lot of parents here, maybe my age and not as savvy with social media. How do they find them? Because, okay, I know they're probably not on Facebook. That's for old people like me. But say I'm on TikTok or I'm on Snap and I'm a kid, how's this guy finding me? Are there groups that they go to? What can parents do to say, hey, maybe stay off this page? Or how are they? Is it through messages? What can parents watch out for specifically?
I would refer that question primarily to the websites that I mentioned, secureflorida.org, because they have a laundry list of things that you can do to protect your kids. And I would, instead of answering it that way, here's what I would say. Be engaged in what your kids are doing, because there are a variety of different ways in which predators are going to approach kids online. I can't possibly cover them all. But what I can cover is the common factor, and that's the parent. The parent is the common denominator here, and they should have visibility about what's going on with their child online. There's too many to list as far as vectors, as far as predators approaching kids online.
Yeah, may I add one thing to that? One of the things that these predators do is they troll for children. They look for specific things, looking at social media, where they're going to school, who they're friends with. And they identify vulnerabilities in these children and reach out to them. So there is a very methodical way of doing this. Chat rooms are very popular, very secure and safe places to make contact. But they know who they're targeting, and they find those soft spots.
They'll often do research on who they're going after through various platforms. So again, they can befriend. We used to call it grooming back in the day, face to face, but it's an online version of that. Yes.
How long did this operation take, and how concerning is it that some people are so willing to travel? A couple of these are from the next county over. Some of them are from 3-4 hours away coming here for this.
It's highly concerning to answer the backside of that. Like I said, 1 arrest is bad, 12 is incredible. The operation ran for about a week, 4 days straight, and then we had kind of meandered on after that a little bit as well. So in that short time frame, that relative short time frame, we were able to proactively take 12 people off the street that would have hurt a child had that actually been a child on the other line.
Are we seeing an increase in people specifically traveling here to do this, or is law enforcement just looking for it? So now we're observing that there's however many cases of this going on in the Pensacola or Escambia County area.
Yeah, we're not seeing a particular increase here in Pensacola for any one reason or another compared to any other jurisdiction. I think the difference here is we're proactively going after it. So if you're going after something, you're more likely to find it than if you don't. A lot of these cases go undetected, unfortunately. And we're trying to be proactive, catch it on the front end before it becomes an issue. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Gotcha.